You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. We welcome you to the Toyota Chris Paul HBCU Classic presented by Walmart. Welcome inside Mohegan Sun Arena here in Connecticut as Delaware State out of the MEAC taking on Alabama State out of the SWAC in our fourth and final game here in this two-day event. What's up, everybody? Welcome here courtside alongside my guy. He's Dallin Cuff. I'm John Schriffen. All right, so Norfolk State got the win here in game one today. Norfolk won yesterday, and Delaware State won yesterday as well. That means the MEAC is 3-0 against the SWAC. Delaware State can make it a clean sweep today, but they're going to need another big game by Meneer Newton, who had a double-double yesterday in the win.
That was my guy. I was loving all over him, rightfully so. He had 13 and 10. He was outstanding in that game. He was efficient in his movements to get the ball, to free up himself, to free up his teammates. And I do think whenever they see that Alabama State in the zone today, which you're going to see some of, him operating that high post and that dunker spot behind the zone will be critical. He made it look easy. He provides great effort and energy on both sides of the ball. Excited to see him maybe put up another big game. They'll need it there. What Alabama State on the other side is to make threes. This team takes a ton of threes. 45% of their shots are threes. 40% of their offense comes from three. You see how many they make. They made over 10 a game up until yesterday, in which they had one of the worst shooting performances in recent years. They were 3 for 26 from deep. So Tony Matlock and his guys have to get good ones. They took a lot of tough ones. Inside out, get good shots. They got to knock them down.
Can the SWAC get a win here in Connecticut? Alabama State in the black, in the white, and Delaware State is in the black. As the Hornets have won the tip, and C.J. Hines will run the point.
That's owned by Delaware State. Stan Waterman told us this team has gotten better in the zone defensively, man-to-man, not really what they've been successful with this year. So the zone, we'll see that most of the game.
Matlock off the mark with the first shot. Starting lineup for the Delaware State Hornets, who come into this game at 500, 6-6. Robert Smith, Martaz Robinson are the guards. There's your guy, Meneer Newton, getting the party started.
Just like we said, get in that high post, that zone, go to work. Efficient and effective and knowledgeable where he's supposed to be.
TJ Matlock getting his second consecutive start for Alabama State after he came back after missing a few games with a turf toe. Knox swooping through. And we're all tied at 2 apiece here early on.
Even when you're in the zone, you can't get extended there. They got extended and kind of, they're pointing and talking well, but they extended and Knox able to go right down Broadway. The Alabama State's team, we know, so they're going to take a lot of threes, but you can still compact it in and contest a little bit late. Make them earn it a little bit.
High archer off the mark from Smith. Knox, he is looking at the rim, but he missed in close.
Alabama State wants to play a tempo. And the Hornets aren't scared of it either from Delaware State, but good shot selection. Smith's shot, that last shot, was not a good shot. And a bad shot is the first pass in your opponent's transition break.
From the elbow, the high archer goes for Robinson, his first bucket.
This is like 3-2 zone. They're communicating and talking, yet you still want to get in the high post. You can operate in the short corner, that space between the corner and the block. And if you want to get some overloads, 4 guys on the side, make 3 play 4.
Knox with a deep 3, and he makes it.
Good kick out by C.J. Hines, too, but also Delaware State, you don't need to overhelp. They really did have Hines kind of squared up. He wasn't going to make a shot there. The help came too hard, allowing Knox, your leading scorer, to get his hands and feet set.
Newton spinning. And Robinson can't answer. Smith can't answer. Head coach for Delaware State Hornets, Stan Waterman, in his 4th season. He's a guy who has challenged his team, said, look, anybody can lose, but tough guys find a way to win. As a coach is trying to find a way to motivate and go 2-0 here in Connecticut.
And that would also be a 4-game win streak for a team that struggled. To rip off 4 straight wins would mean a lot for them. They already got 3, and their one yesterday against Grambling was impressive. It was kind of a commanding performance for 40 minutes.
Knox behind the back, gives it up. Hines lets it fly.
That was the second possession they overhelped. Their movement it sucked too much to the ball, allowing some open looks.
Tony Madlock, in his third season as the head coach of Alabama State, they hired him to turn things around with the Hornets.
And his son, 20, in the back, top corner of your island turf toe, as you mentioned, but TJ's an outstanding young player. Preseason All SWAC.
Watson, this one's going up. Turnaround jumper is smooth. Kasim Watson at 6'9" out of Philly.
I love that you said that. We learned that enough yesterday. It's going up. But he's confident. He does have a huge height advantage as a wing player at 6'9". He's able to shoot over these smaller guards, and he's taking advantage of it. Flash.
Andrews turnaround. Quick shot by Tyler Mack.
I want to see Newton still find his way to getting that flash in the high post again.
Watson from the other corner, and he's got that jumper working early.
It's good skip. Skip passes against his own are a real problem. So he skips it over the top, and Newton actually kind of like screened the back man and gave Watson an extra foot of space where he's able to knock down the low baseline pull-up, which he loves.
So refreshing to see in the mid-range game come back into fashion.
It's back into fashion for Kareem because he wants it. I don't the rest of the NBA wouldn't agree, but I like what he could do there.
Smith turnaround jumper.
There's no need. He's a really good player. He's your second leading scorer. He can get that shot anytime.
That's the shooter, Tyler Mack. And the offensive rebound for Alabama State, but it's taken away by Smith. Robinson. And a block is called. First foul called on TJ Madlock. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Walmart, presenting sponsor of the Toyota Chris Paul HBCU Classic. State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Toyota, let's go places. Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun Arena here in Connecticut. And we take a look at some of the preseason honors in the MEAC. First team all MEAC. And Monetize Robinson on that list for Delaware State. Coach Stan Waterman said he was a big sign basically because we thought he was going to enter the portal, but him coming back was big for our team.
Yeah, that's hard for a lot of coaches these days. When your best player, there are rumors, he said, they were going to enter the portal. They had conversations. Martez stays, and has had a huge impact on this team so far, but on their prospects of winning the MEAC. And you saw the Bison from Howard littering that first team all league. They're Christian Ings, who we just saw at Norfolk State. They went 2-0 here. So Robinson, a guy we talked about yesterday, coach wants him to be more aggressive. He takes 25% of their shots, and he's saying, I want you to look for yours even more. And we'll see if he can do that in this game without forcing it and still being able to facilitate. It's a very fine line that he's figured how to walk this year.
Corey Perkins, the senior from Wilmington, Delaware, on the floor now for the first time. And a foul at the entry pass to Andrews. Foul called against just Stephen Walker.
How about these bodies? Look at 25 and 20. You got Newton and Madlock. Those are two dudes, they're chiseled dudes that play hard and are physical. Really interesting matchup underneath.
Perkins 3, too strong. Good movement. And Knox eventually can't get it to fall.
Good job scrambling by the Hornets, too, because the ball movement was good, and this is a team that wants to get early threes up. Alabama State more of this kind of switching man-to-man where they'll switch a lot of ball screen action and just try to talk through things.
And a hold called on Walker as Andrews was trying to get through. That'll be two quick ones.
And this is where, as a player, you've got to learn from how the game is being officiated, especially as a non-starter. You've watched what's gone on here to this point in time. He got called for essentially the same thing on the play before. And here he's wrestling with Andrews. He's got his arms just kind of wrapped up all over him. It's an easy call for Tony Crisp underneath.
So Jalen Kiago will come off the bench. Alabama State with numbers, 5-on-4 coming the other way. Coast to coast is C.J. Hines.
That's where they want to play. Get that ball off the rim and go. Top 8 in the nation in tempo. And now they're going a little make-miss. Now they come back into that 2-3 zone. So the Hornets have to recognize it and then adjust. I guess I can't say Hornets. They're both Hornets, so yeah. That's not helping me. Newton's got to present himself in the middle of that zone better. 25 in black.
Watson double teamed, has it taken away by Knox. Tyler Mack gets it up. That's what he does. He is the shooter from Warren, Michigan.
Coming into this event, only 5 non-threes taken. Like that, you got to run him off the line. Good find.
Robinson puts it off the deck, gets the defender off them and puts it in with the foul.
It's just a physical play, man. He went right into his defender's chest, right into Hines. He shrugs off the first piece of contact and then slips through it. And that's, I think, what Coach means about being aggressive, too. Like, he could have swung that ball and they could have continued to run offense, but he kind of forced the issue. But that's the type of player he is. He can do that.
Coach Waterman got the job. Martez Robinson was the only player still on the roster. And he decided to finish things out here as a graduate student in his final season of action.
Coach did say when he leaves here with his graduate degree, he may shed more tears than his mama. We'll see about that, Coach.
And Matlock gives it away. 1-point lead for Delaware State. It's been a kind of a choppy start to this one. Neither team able to kind of impose their will.
Yeah, it has. And some of it's been a little bit of careless with the ball, like right there. But again, when you're playing a lot of changing defense, now we got a 2-2-1, three-quarter court press, falling back into what looks like a zone. Yeah, 2-3 zone. So it takes some time to assess these things and find a flow within the game. Good flash.
Robinson from the elbow. Nice looking mid-range jumper. A 3-point lead for Delaware State.
Teams may not be in a rhythm, but he is.
Yeah.
Can't get screened up there. Perkins, he's got to step over, but good help by Somerville.
That's a tough one as Robinson out-jumps everybody. He's got 7 of the 13 Delaware State points to start this game. He said, give it back, I want it. Inside to the big fella, Raymond Somerville.
It took them a while. Delaware State eventually recognized the mismatch of Hines on Somerville. Problem is, nobody in Alabama State did. They should have switched that off when the ball got reversed to the top. They could have got rematched up with a big on him. And they're playing with a smaller lineup right now, but bigger guys got to step up and help some of these guards.
Mack, a deep one. Whoa. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock's at 2. Had that one swatted by Somerville. And a shot clock violation. Good start for Delaware State. A 5-point lead. We played just over 9 minutes here in this first half. It is beginning to feel a lot like Christmas here at Mohegan Sun.
That game and see what happens. To see this, to your point, to see the scene at Notre Dame, the pageantry that exists in college football now on an elevated level with playoff games on campuses. It's going to be pretty cool.
I do like what Chris Ball has done with this tournament. pitting the MEAC against the SWAC, adding a little extra juice into things.
I love it.
And the SWAC does not want to leave Connecticut without a win.
And talk about some bragging rights. So you were holding over them. Nice extra pass.
Smith with some space, knocks down the three. Nice set coming out of the timeout. Delaware State open up their largest lead, up 8.
Now that's the shot I want to see Smith shoot. You had ball reversal, you had a drive baseline, the kick, reverse to him, feet set in rhythm. That was a really good possession by Delaware State out of the break.
Knox, contested three. He says, yeah, I got that in my bag.
You can live with that one. That's a good player making a big shot. Good job by Somerville. You got it. You need to catch that ball around the free throw line. It makes things so much easier to break down the zone.
Perkins can't get around his man, and he stepped out of bounds. Turnover.
Knox is their leading scorer. I mean, Robinson, a little bit of hand down, man down. You got to step up. He's their leading scorer for a reason. The guy can make shots. He can put the ball on the deck. And you've got to respect that. Out to the NBA range. That was a deep three.
Micah Octave, back-to-back threes falling for Alabama State.
Good job against that zone, making the wing player kind of commit, and he wouldn't commit to which party one. There were two playing one over there, two offensive players and one defender. He didn't want to commit and buried the three.
Getting a hand on it is Knox, unable to corral it though. Knox is an interesting guy because he can play the 1 or the 2. He can distribute or he can be the scorer.
Yeah, I mean, true kind of combo guard in the sense. And I feel like when they're at their best is when he is looking to score, and it's score first, facilitate second.
So the officials are just making sure that the clock is correct. Our officials for the second game here, Tony Crisp, Mike Evans, and Janetta Graham.
Evans over at the scoreboard right now.
I don't think people understand how hard officials work. I was in the gym earlier. Mike Evans must have been on the treadmill for over an hour, making sure he stays in shape. Janetta Graham was down in there getting the work in. And when the games end, they go watch film or they're running to their next assignment.
That's where the schedule of what they do is brutal. And you know it, too, because we be on a lot of the same flights as them.
Yep.
But you or I may be going home between games. They're going to another game a lot of times that morning, flying somewhere else. And you're obviously covering so much ground in a college basketball game up and down. So when you said Evans on the treadmill, my eyes bugged out. Like, my man is putting in some serious work. Because you're going to run up and down here.
The difference between them and us, they have to stay in shape.
We choose to stay in shape. Some for health, some for vanity's sake. That might be more me.
Perkins short, but follows his miss. Scoop shot no good. And it's snatched down by Octave. Knox distributing. And the three falls, the rainbow three for Jalen Kiago. That's 3 threes now in a row for Alabama State.
That's, again, the way they want to play. We talked about before the game. They need to make threes, 45% of their shots, 40% of their offense. When they're knocking them down, partially because Knox, talk about driving to score. He was driving to score that ball. When it got shut off, then he found Kiago. Kiago wants it again in the corner. He's dying for it.
Instead, it's Simpson. It is raining threes in Connecticut for Alabama State. Timeout on the floor as Delaware State needs to regroup.
It's Santa. We got a problem.
And if you're Delaware State, they may shoot you out of the zone. You may need to go man up just because you gotta give them a different look here.
At one point in the game against UT Martin, Micah Simpson had 20 points. He hit 6 threes in a row. He is capable of getting hot quick.
Mm-hmm.
1-2-2 press as Delaware State will break it. Nice job by Octave. Got to find a shooter in the corner. It's Simpson.
It's a phenomenal look. Out of transition, wide open three. That's exactly the way Tony Matlock wants to play. Big mismatch. Take your time, big fella.
Somerville brought it down, and the reach and foul called against Kiago. What's the key for the big man there when you know you have that size advantage?
You just wait. You got to wait a second. Chin it. See, because you're going to have some digging. Some help is going to come from a guard. Just let everybody settle down, because if you do have a dig or you do have a double, you then can exploit that. Be able to kick it out to your guard. You don't have to score. You can just run some stuff through you. When they turn and go right away, you've usually won half the battle. Unless they're able to go right to the rim. Like he was not going to the rim, that means he's in trouble.
Somerville trying to repost inside. Instead, it's Smith with the three, and he got it. Smith, his second three. He's got 6.
Now they do go man-to-man. A shot out of the zone. So now their communication taught how they handle ball screens is huge.
Kiago shot off the mark. And Perkins, no bucket. A foul called against Somerville.
See, it went from a smart play, then he did a little too much. Because Somerville at first, I'm like, oh, he's going to wall him off. But you got to be a little more sly about it, a little more coy about it. Because he did it at first. And then he just kept working. He put that arm up. No need. Alabama State up 1.
You know what's better than 1 Papa John's pizza? 2 Papa John's pizza for only $6.99 each.
Only at Papa John's. Bundle 2 or more Papa Pairings menu items.
Leader right now, if you're betting on it. If he can't go because of shoulder injury, that changes the complexion of the game, obviously. Purdue wants that win, period, for their resume. And to just stem the tide of the SEC. Like, just give me a little narrative break if you're the Big Ten or any other league. To win a game against the SEC right now, their win percentage is like 88% against the other Power 4 teams. That's insane.
Because the SEC is going to beat up on each other eventually.
Yeah. But when they're all quad 1 games, John, that helps you out.
That's the difference.
I think they're coming for the Big East record 2011. They put 11 teams in the tournament. The SEC at this point is going to get 12. Or I don't do this right now. I know, Lenardi, you've got your projections. And Joey, I love you. It's not Christmas. I don't like citing your projections already, but he's got 13 teams in. 13.
Somerville lowering his shoulder as Delaware State takes a 1-point lead. Under 7 minutes to play here in this first half. 3 going up, and Octave knocking it down. 7th 3 hit by Alabama State in this first half.
Now, how they're guarding ball screens at the top, they're not going to switch. They wanted to get Kiago on the pick and pop. That didn't work. They defended it well. They were sticking in the corner, and defenders just hands are down. Like, this team's stroking threes. You got to run them off the line. There's got to be a sense of urgency for Delaware. Good flash by Watson. There you go. Take your time in there.
Smith. They said he's never seen a shot he doesn't like. The D2 transfer.
That was, again, he's taking some good shots today. Smith's been in the flow of the offense. Anytime you get a touch in the high post, a short corner, one of those weak spots on the zone, it helps collapse the zone and gives you guys a little bit more room. There's your pick and pop again. Good recovery by Somerville, but good drive by Kiago. We'll take a look. This is well defended because they're not going to switch the screen. So Watson's got to help. He gets back. But now this is a big that's maybe not used to be on the perimeter. Somerville over-helps. He didn't need to step his leg toward the offensive player. And then when you close back on Octave, he buries a triple. There's been 3 of their threes have been off of over-helping. And what I mean by that is you don't need to go toward the ball. Your teammates got it. He's good. You got to stay closer to your man.
We're good. Here we go.
They closed out on Simpson. Instead, he drives high off the glass.
Great finish. With the kiss. Watson's a good guy to have there, yeah, because he can shoot that, he can turn and face up. Well done.
Watson 3 of 4 from the floor. He's got 6 points. Octave, another one. Matlock had it stripped away. Here comes Robinson the other way. One-on-one against the big guy, off balance. But Newton with the offensive rebound. Watson, another mid-range. He has got that dialed in.
High release, holds that follow through. Confident. And since they've gone to this man, Delaware State's helped stem the tide of some of those threes. That's going to be a moving screen, yep.
All right, here the 12-team college football playoff first-round matchup from campus stadiums. Tomorrow, TNT's got first 2 games, SMU, Penn State, and Happy Valley at noon Eastern, and Clemson, Texas. That one going down in Austin. And we wrap up the night with Ohio State hosting Tennessee at the Shoe in Columbus on ESPN and ABC.
All right, every home team's a touchdown favorite or more. Upset? Anybody getting upset here? And we can throw Indiana in the mix because they start about an hour against Notre Dame.
Ooh, which upset tomorrow?
Or will there be? Did you tell me this?
No, you're right. You're right. There always is one, right? Of the 4, there's got to be one.
Well, we've never seen it before, so I don't know. We'll find out.
Who would you pick?
I think Tennessee. I'm going to go with who I think the best opponent is. And Ohio State may be the best team of that group that's playing.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe they beat Penn State. Texas may have something to say about that. But, yeah, if you're going to give me somebody, I'll give you Tennessee.
All right.
Watson's still there.
Robinson, a deep one.
The thing about Watson, his teammates have to understand, too, in a 6'9" frame, you can fake low and go high to him above some of those guards. He'll be able to catch that ball in the high post. You got to make him, you got to kind of force it in there at times, and you can get it there.
Smith corralled it, but he stepped out of bounds. 3-point lead for Delaware State. This one has been tight throughout this first half.
Alabama State substitution.
So the shooter, Tyler Mack, comes back on the floor, replacing Knox.
They did zone out of the OB under. Now matched up again.
There's Mack. You have to know where he is at all times.
Preach, man. Martez Robinson literally fell asleep at the wheel. He got screened. It was one of those oh crap looks on his face, like I don't know why I'm so separated from him, but he got lucky, and now Robinson the other way can't get his to go.
Long rebound goes to Smith. Pull up jumper. You know, when you make the jump from D2 to D1, not sure how it's going to work out. Stan Waterman said we need him to gel with his teammates, but it looks like it's working out pretty well.
He's just a scorer, too. He's a pure scorer, so he's figuring it out.
Alabama State starting to fall in love with the 3-ball.
Here's Watson again, that high post. With those long arms, he can be a big target. But you got to use ball fakes. Move the defender. There you go. Turn, take time.
Smith. Ooh, ripping down the net. The assist to Watson.
He's incredibly effective in there, and that's against Smith. Step-in jumper, in rhythm. It's big. And that's forcing the timeout the other way. That was a great response by Delaware State as Alabama State had an onslaught of threes. They changed up their defense. Good job by Coach Waterman. And you see Watson take his time, draw over the defender, kick it to Smith. Buckets.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball and the K Jewelers halftime report. We preview some of the top action in college basketball this weekend. Purdue taking on Auburn, Wake Forest taking on Clemson, and UCLA going against North Carolina. Alabama State and Adidas School. How about the Crazy Eights, the old school Kobe Bryants, man? Those are sweet.
Look nice.
And then Why so serious? The Joker shoes. Okay. I like the custom paint job.
I like it. The question is that the Heath Ledger Joker? Is that the Joaquin Phoenix Joker? Who are we sporting here?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Maybe some investigating reporting at the half?
Or it's a really tight shot again. I gotta take a look. I don't know. I was about to do a full unplug for the show, The Penguin. It's on a competing streaming service, but unbelievable. That's up.
Clear out, and a teardrop falls for Micah Simpson.
That's 2. He's got some serious finishes at the rim. Now they go man-to-man as their zone's been carved up a little bit. A little bit of cat and mouse game, chess match between the 2 coaches. I think Newton, he's going to have a pretty big advantage here if he gets the ball. Wow, Smith is in zone.
Robert Smith, a.k.a. the Joker. Coming back the other way. Hines, no one he stopped the ball, and he gets the foul.
That drives Stan Waterman nuts. Guys, we made a 3. We're feeling it. Just transition defense. Simple step-up ball screen. Simpson just a second step late. Got really no help from UB, the big fella.
17 points already. 3 of 5. 5 for 7 from deep.
He's got 11 points in the last 5 minutes of play. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, you can tell the Delaware State players on this line are talking to each other about defensive assignments, trying to make sure that that does not happen again.
Yeah. That's really what transition defense is primarily. It's communication first and foremost. Who's stopping ball? Who's got the next pass? Who's got the weak side and loading up? Trying to get Watson in the post there. Good deflection. Good ball pressure by Simpson.
Hines getting downhill again. And once again, he will go back to the free throw line.
Ponce James, first time he's played in this event so far, just didn't. You see how he was backpedaling the whole time. There has to be a line of confrontation at some point. You need to step up and stop the ball. I don't think you have the time to do that. When you keep retreating, you keep giving ground. They're going to keep taking it until you stop them.
The annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition continues. We got these 5 star-studded games on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ABC. In the first one, Chris Paul and the Spurs taking on the New York Knicks, starting today at noon Eastern, at 9 a.m. Pacific. Then we got a special real-time animated version of the game on ESPN Plus and Disney Plus. Then Timberwolves Mavs, Sixers Celtics, Lakers Warriors, and Nuggets Suns cap off the night. All right, I love teachable moments. When do you have to stop the ball? The guy is coming down. If you're playing D, you need to stop the ball by what point on the floor?
Well, it depends on who you're playing. If the guys are a full-on downhill driver, and where you are, where your teammates are. In that situation, he could have been 3 feet above the three-point line. He was back with plenty of time. He also wasn't squared up. He was almost kind of giving him the left side of the hoop. So you got to square your guy up, and you got to be in your defensive position, not retreating.
Leaning into one. Robert Smith off the mark. 7-point lead for Delaware State. Simpson feeling it. Knocks down another triple. His second 3, and he's in double figures to lead Alabama State with 10.
Great. I mean, this is a real simple in and out move, create a little bit of space, but you're right. That is a man that's feeling it to take that shot. And again, you see Smith kind of retreating, gets him on his heels, a little simple in and out, buckets.
Under a minute to play here in this first half. Robinson falling away from the defenders and knocks down the mid-range.
I'll tell you, this has been fun, man. Not a lot of fouls, good flow for most of it. After about the first, after about the first 7 or 8 minutes, and guys making shots, making plays.
Delaware State shooting 53% from the floor. Alabama State 43%.
Newton, they've got to hedge that screen harder. You have to make the offensive player retreat.
Delaware State foul, number 25.
And that foul is not going to put them in the 1-on-1, which is important.
His first, the team's sixth.
So the first on Newton, 6th team foul. The next one will send Alabama State to the line for a 1-on-1.
Delaware State substitution.
Offensive foul on the inbound. They called Knox for the push-off. So with that, the shot clock turned off. And Delaware State, final shot of this first half.
Yeah, you want to go into this half up 6 at worst. You get your last shot, maybe 1 rebound attempt. We'll get it on the rim with 2 seconds left or so, 3 seconds left. But you got plenty to run something first. One of my things I hate in college basketball times is to stand around at the end of the half, end of the game, and chuck a 24-footer. You don't need to do that. Run something.
Here comes the double team. Andrews from the corner, off the mark, Knox. He's got 3 seconds to work with. 2 seconds, 1 second. And the first half comes to an end with Delaware State up 6 over Alabama State.
Well played half for both teams. And when you shoot the ball the way they did, each team respectively shot the other out of a zone. So we've changed up some defense. Let's see how the coaches with adjustments they make going to the break.
Robert Smith, man, he got hot in that first half. 5 of 8 from downtown. Leads the way with 17. At the half, Delaware State with a 6-point lead here from Mohegan Sun Arena. Jewelers, you're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops. This is the Toyota Chris Paul HBCU Classic presented by Walmart. At the half, Delaware State with a 40-34 lead over Alabama State alongside Dallin Cuff. I'm John Trippin. We appreciate you joining us here courtside. Well, guard play was really the story in that first half.
And no doubt about it. Micah Simpson, he struggled yesterday against Norfolk State. 0 points off the bench, couple fouls. He's been really good in this game. Looked like he did in the game prior to coming to this event where he had 6 threes. He shot it with confidence when they were in the zone, but he's also, once they went to man, that is such a high degree of difficulty finish. He's been very aggressive. He's been dictating to the defense, and they've been on their heels. They need more of that from the second half. On the other side, Robert Smith is the leading scorer on this team, and you're seeing why right now. He has gotten hot, and a lot of his shots have come off the flow of the offense, especially when they were in that zone. He was getting touches in the high post, low post, ball reversal, and playing within himself, but then capitalized. He's got 17 points, and over half of them in the final 7 minutes of the half. They have to know where he is at all times. Now, Alabama State has gone man. They've got to be communicating where he is at every moment on the floor because he is hot and in a rhythm right now.
Take a look at the first half stats. Delaware State shooting 52% from the floor at Alabama State. They got hot, knocking down 8 threes, but then they fell in love with that 3-point shot towards the end of that first half.
They were more contested. When they went man-to-man, Delaware State did a better job of being there more on the catch, and they were still getting them up, but they were a little bit more challenged shots.
Alabama State has made 8 threes. They've only taken 8 2-pointers so far in that first half.
Out of their game. Again, 45% of their shots are going to be from the 3-point line. So now 40% of their offense comes from there. They have to make threes. They don't tend to manufacture offense in other ways. How Delaware State can counteract that is take good shots offensively. And if Delaware State is scoring, on the other side for Alabama State against the half court, harder for them to get good looks up.
What do you say we get a good half to finish off this Chris Paul HBCU challenge here in Connecticut?
Let's make it happen. And last game did not disappoint. Grambling was down at 19 with 12 minutes and change. Battled back. They made that a 1-possession game.
Watson. Knox waiting for the screen from his big man, UB. Adlock penetrating and finishes at the cup.
I mean, how many ball fake one-mores can you have on one possession and it leads to a layup? That was beautiful from Alabama State. The team we talk about that wants to take threes, they didn't force it there.
Smith. First 2 shots from Delaware State off the mark to start the second half. Knox with the lane opening up, but good help by Newton to block it out of bounds.
Robinson, he's attacked that high foot. Robinson was a complete blow-by. Defensively, he's got to be more locked in and shading a little bit more to not allow that middle penetration so easy.
C.J. Hines will step into one out of bounds. And that will stay here off Delaware State. Goaltending called against Kasim Watson. Alabama State doing a better job spacing the floor as these lanes are starting to open up.
Spacing the floor and then shaking the driving lanes and being under control. Also, the one-on-one defense for the Hornets that are wearing black, because we've got 2 Hornets out here, has not been that good to start the half. They're back in that zone now. Newton or Watson really good in that high post area.
Newton attacking the 7-footer, gets it plus the foul.
He was really quiet in the first half. Spent the majority of the second half of the first half on the bench, but this is where he's got to make his presence felt. If they're going to run that zone, he can flash in there anywhere from that second hash on the lane line up to the free throw line, find that space and operate in there.
Down, that is 6'5" for 7'1".
Doesn't feel like that, does it? Like Newton doesn't feel. That's why Waterman's comparison to Charles Barkley was so apt. He may not be 7 foot, but he sure plays like he's 7 foot.
He is not afraid. Hines dribbling in deep, finds a way to wrap around and get it to go.
I was kind of with Stan Waterman. The bench yelled double dribble, but then Tony Crisp, official, said that there was a Delaware State player got a hand on the ball, but it looked like a double dribble from our angle. Good job screening the top part of the zone.
Robinson, that one affected by UB, 7'1". I think they're going to call a foul first.
Okay. Take a look at, yeah, see, there's the reflection. From our angle, looked like he just touched it with 2 hands, but then good finish on the other side. It's the officials now, Janetta Graham and Tony Crisp, trying to. He's saying, I got a foul before the travel.
Nice job of all the officials communicating. Tony Crisp behind the play said, I had the foul first. This is the shooter, MEAC. Watson. And Newton, oh, I thought he tipped it off of the Alabama State player.
Take a look at this as Watson's missed shot. Oh, yeah, they did go off Matlock, but Newton's upset. What Delaware State has to realize, when they're playing this zone, though, you got one Andrews got the ball in that high post. I know I keep talking about it. It's a broken record. He's not the right guy for that. He needs to be behind the defense, patrolling the short corners, the dunker spots. Because when you have Watson and Newton, you got guys that are more capable of making the shot, scoring, and facilitating out of that spot, as good as Andrews is.
MEAC has missed his last 2.
Good ducking by Andrews. So now you got Newton there, 25. Flash.
Jump stop, but has it stripped away. Alabama State, a 3-on-2. And Matlock can't finish. What a contest by Kasim Watson.
Never gave up on the play. And Matlock almost didn't see him coming because Hines was kind of trying to angle him out. And Watson just out-hustled, made a big play, saved 2 points. Newton's gotta want it. You gotta stop right now. Just like settle down in the spot.
Here's the cutting Newton. Nice job, just hesitating, let the defender fly by. Delaware State back up 4. That ball was tipped by Robinson. Outlet, Newton. And on the strip, he'll be fouled. Tight one, just a 4-point game here in this second half. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by $50,000 donation to the coaches to help supply and support their winning teams. Thank you, Toyota, for your support of HBCUs. That is what makes this tournament so special. I mean, I was just walking around this venue here at Mohegan Sun Arena. It's been around since 2001. There are pillars all over here with artists. Whenever they play, they get a chance to sign the wall, or one of the guitars, they'll sign it. Earth, Wind, and Fire played here. LL Cool J, Shania Twain, Sting. There's so many different artists, the type of people. There was a signed guitar from Bruce Springsteen on the wall. I mean, just the legends who have come through here. So what an honor it must be for these young men to play here on this floor.
Play on this floor, in this building. The Connecticut Sun also playing all the time in this professional arena, professional environment. Just first class all the way. And that's your credit to Chris Paul, his family, the sponsors, to give this opportunity to these players to showcase their talent. And they're doing that for us. Earth, Wind, and Fire was here this past week.
Right.
They're doing their thing.
Robert Smith couldn't get the reverse lay-in.
Good hands off the foot. No. Good hands by Robinson, though. Couple hustle plays, saved points by this Delaware State team in this half.
Played almost 5 minutes here in this second half. Octave for the free throw line, dumps it inside. UB off the window. Nice play from Alabama State.
I don't love their OB under defensively. They kind of try to zone it up, and they've done it a couple times where they haven't communicated well out of it once the ball's inbounded, and they just basically gave up the bucket.
Hines, 3 off the mark, pulled down by Corey Perkins. Delaware State looking to run as Newton hangs long enough in the air to draw the whistle. Foul called against Hines.
Alabama State foul number 3, C.J. Hines, his second. The team's third.
It's starting to get a little spicy at the free throw line as guys getting into it, but the officials said, all right, let's put an end to that. Have a men's basketball matinee triple header for you tomorrow on ESPN. Syracuse and Maryland start us off at noon Eastern from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Then, number 25 Clemson hosts Wake Forest. Finish it off with 16th ranked Purdue and 2nd ranked Auburn in Birmingham. If football is not your thing, we still got plenty of hoops on ESPN tomorrow.
We got you locked and loaded, folks. You're good to go. And that's a big game for Wake Forest because the ACC has had its struggles this year, and Clemson still likely a tournament. They have a tournament-ish resume. So if you can win that game on the road at Clemson, that would be pretty big for a Wake Forest team who's crazy. We're already looking at bubbles and stuff. But resume-wise, they have not built up a solid non-league slate to help them come March. No movement here.
That one's going up for Watson. And Alabama State with a chance to take the lead this possession. Knox. I don't know about that one. And falling out of bounds, but we have a foul first. Ooh. They're going to call that one against Octave.
I didn't see a foul from here, but we're a long way away. I thought it was just going to be an out of bounds, but. Okay. I mean, had his hands on. Yeah,
got his hand.
Good call. Those are things, too. You never want to fault hustle, but there's no reason to pick up that foul and put your team on a 4th foul with 13 minutes and change to play. You're likely not getting that ball.
Dribbling through traffic and a reach and foul. Back-to-back fouls called against Octave.
Back-to-back possessions, though, for Delaware State. Very stagnant offensively. Before they had some cutters high. We keep talking about high posts. They're cutting in and out. They're moving the ball. They're trying to screen the zone. They've got to remain, player and ball movement, regardless of what defense you're facing. Dude's going to have a mismatch, with the switch. Whoa.
Lost his footing, so he gives it up, and the 3 goes for Corey Perkins. Might not have looked pretty, but Watson got it to him.
No, it didn't. As Watson went face first, but he did get the assist. That's all that matters. Get over that flare screen. Well done by Robinson. Good help by Newton.
A kiss off the glass. Soft touch by C.J. Hines. Taking it back to a 1-possession game.
Really good screen by UB up there. A lot of body, made Robbins take a long way around that created the advantage for his teammate.
Robinson calling for it. He wants him to switch the floor. Backdoor Robinson sneaking free, gets the lay-in.
That zone was elevated a little bit. Watson early in that possession, they looked at him. Perkins was going to make the throw to him, he didn't. And then eventually Robinson found his way back there. Good pass by Smith.
You can tell he was kind of ducking, trying to get as small as possible.
There's a good hedge by Newton on the screen.
Knox with a head fake. Newton. Watson kept his ground, and that one off the mark. Robinson going coast to coast. He thought it was an and one. Hines off 2 feet. Strong finish.
That change of pace out top. Woo. Great cross, explode to the 10, and then a really nice finish.
This might be the best game of the 4 the past 2 days.
It's up there. The Norfolk State Grambling game we just saw was impressive to see Grambling come back the way they did. Nice.
Getting it back to Knox. Nice touch pass from Micah Simpson.
But this is up there. It's been a really well-played game. And for more than the full 40, to your point, a little bit back and forth. Nobody took control or huge runs.
Backdoor cut. Finishing plus the foul is Kasim Watson.
Great find by Robinson. I love how they're playing behind that zone right now. We saw Robinson do it a couple of possessions ago. This time Robinson now hooks up Watson. There's a strong offensive play too. He's got bodies all around him, keeps his head up, keeps it under control. And that's a 7-footer right through him. Watson, probably giving him 80 pounds. Don't matter.
In the game, Delaware State was up 9 in that first half. It has been a tight one ever since.
Yeah, it really has been. It's been a really well-played game, too, and a fun game in terms of teams having to change defense. It's not because they've been forced into it by good offensive play the other way.
Knox was pushed from behind, and they're going to give that one to Robert Smith.
Now, see, we talk about them zoning. This time they just did a straight-up man-to-man out of the OB under. Helped them. They gave up buckets off of that for no reason.
It's just the second team foul against Delaware State almost 10 minutes into the second half.
That may factor as Alabama State has 16 fouls, so next time it's going to be the bonus. That was a tough shot. Not my forte, but yeah.
Must be near Christmas. I like this version of Down.
No Grinch here, baby.
Yeah, I like this.
Bubbly. We're gonna have in our studio, or the ESPN studio on Monday. Our holiday sweaters will be worn for the Diamond Classic.
Okay.
It's the annual Dwight Schrute appearance for those Office fans out there. Very small lineup for Alabama State. Basically, almost like 5 wing guard players. Nice drive and dish.
Watson at 6'9" puts it in. He's got 14 points.
Now, there's no traditional big really on either team right now. Keago's the biggest guy on the Alabama State team, but this is a good drive and find. We've got a couple of these for Delaware State in the second half. Nice skip by Smith. Anytime you skip it against the zone, that's going to cause a closeout situation, which can be problematic. Perkins, really good dish. Took some arm right there to hang it up, to drop it off. And Watson finished.
An efficient 7 for 11 from the floor to go along with 6 rebounds. So both Watson twins now on the floor at the same time. Kasim and now his brother Kareem on the floor.
First time we've seen that in this event. Okay, Alabama State. That's 2 possessions. I'll say bad shot. So, again, a bad shot is the first pass, your opponent's first fast break. You do not want to do that. You've done really good throughout the course of this game, maintaining your offense. This is a critical moment. 6-point game, 9 to go. You just got to keep playing the way you were playing, sharing the ball, driving, getting paint touches, kick, closeout, shot. That's what they've been playing most of this game. Oh, good slip on the switch.
Dangerous pass, and that one's picked off by Robert Smith Jr. Kicks it out ahead, and this is Kasim Watson. 16 points now. Timeout, Alabama State, as they want to try to end this run down by 8 with just over 9 minutes left in the second half. Welcome back here to Mohegan Sun. Let's take a look at the preseason poll in the SWAC. And Grambling State, who we just saw to finish, and Alabama State here in this game.
Just like on the MEAC poll we talked about before, how it's become Howard and Norfolk State battling on top. Grambling kind of unseating Texas Southern.
Yeah.
Southern's been in there in recent years too, but Texas Southern really, Coach Jones's program has been the preeminent one on that in that SWAC conference. And obviously they played in this event too and represented themselves well as well.
I mean, this is turning into the premier event in HBCU basketball where teams are knocking down the door. They want to be in this every year.
Yeah, coaches feel honored to get that call. AD's honored to get that call. Can we be part of this? And when they do, funny thing is everybody heard about how great it was, how great the experience was the first year, and then everybody wanted to be in. So I am fascinated to see if eventually, because I'm talking to Chris and his family at times, they've said, like, if we could get to 8 teams, I mean, if they could continue to make it bigger, they would want to do that. But right now, it's a very coveted invite with 4 teams.
It's also cool that regionally they move it around every year.
Yeah.
It's been in Phoenix, Vegas, here in Connecticut, so fans around the country get a chance to come.
Yeah.
Robinson's 3 off the assist from Kareem Watson.
And great job by Kareem to present himself in the middle there and then kick it out. And the recovery by Simpson was just too slow. And Robinson really had a chance to just kind of step in like a Sunday afternoon shot. We'll say Delaware State's man-to-man has been much better. They've really guarded the ball. Their one-on-one defense is better. Their help is better. And then sometimes not over-helping has been really good, too.
Knox nails the 3. That was the tip-out from Jalen Keago.
Best time to shoot a 3 off the offensive board. They desperately needed that shot, too.
Smith Jr. launches and nails a 3. What a game for Robert Smith Jr. He's now got 20.
That was his first made bucket of the second half. But again, he's got 6 triples, as you mentioned. Like he is in the zone. They have to know where he is, and you have to shade to his side. You have to be talking about where the shooter is and be a step closer to him.
Iago. Usually when you think about it that much, just get rid of it.
It's never good. Anytime you hesitate, he who hesitates is lost. Not good. Gotta change this look.
Watson finds Smith in the corner. Ooh, that was silky smooth. Robert Smith Jr. putting on a show.
He's a lefty. That's still a tough finish, though. That had a lot of English on it.
Largest lead, Delaware State up 11. Hines rattles in a three. Alabama State needed that bucket.
Dude, we've got combined 18 threes right now, and Alabama State's got 10 of them. They needed every single one, but that was a big one to keep this thing tight. See, getting that over help. Simpson late on the recovery. Smith, he's a bad man. He's got 6 of them. They've made 8 as a team. Best time though to shoot a 3 after an offensive board. Knox buries it. Back and forth we go. You want more? Hit it again. Delaware State wins.
And it's time now for tonight's play of the game, brought to you by Toyota.
And no surprise, Robert Smith's had a heck of a day. That's a heck of a finish. They closed out, though. They weren't going to let him shoot a 3. He's got 6 of them. So let me just put some English on this thing. It's always hard for when your dominant hand is closer to the backboard because you don't have an angle necessarily to lay it up. That's why you got to he use his left hand instead of his right. You got to put a lot of English on that thing.
These guards, Smith and Robinson, they are a problem.
That's their crew. They need those guys to both be good. When they're good, they're really hard to beat. So Alabama State coming a little full court pressure here. They got to get somebody in the middle to help break that thing. Maybe look to score because you do not want to be in those alleys, and that's a tough foul because you're going to get doubled.
Also, the Watson twins playing some real big minutes. The first time Kareem is on the floor with his brother Kasim.
Interesting move by Stan Waterman. He hasn't played yet in either one of these games, so to come in, and he gave good minutes. You know, it's been in since about the 9-minute mark or so.
So 1-1 for Kareem. And he makes the first. We talked about it over the course of the 2 days. This is where you really find out what your team is made of when you're playing like versus like opponents, and a guy like Kareem Watson can earn himself some more playing time the rest of the season.
It's huge. You're trying to settle into rotations. You're trying to settle into who we are, what we're going to be as we go into league play. When the intensity's higher, the scouting is harder, and there's more at stake. That's what really matters in everybody's season is how you perform in conference play, especially in one-bid leagues, determines will you be going to the dance or not. And I think we just saw a Grambling team, as Kiago finishes inside, that had a couple bench guys really step up. I was talking to Coach Jackson after the game, and you know, some of those guys on the bench will be getting more minutes. I think they earned it in these 2 games he could trust them a little more.
And when you play back-to-back days, you got to get everybody who's available in on the action.
Yeah, tired legs, tired minds.
Shot clock's at 6, getting downhill. How about Corey Perkins plus the foul?
That's a big-time play, man, because that was a really good defensive possession. They were locked in. They were on top of things, no easy shots, and then Simpson just kind of opened the gate a little bit. Perkins went right into his chest, showed no fear, the Wilmington, Delaware native, and laid it up.
$10 straight field goals. Delaware State.
You can't win a game like that. You can't get stops. The thing is, they're not out of it. The way they shoot it, they're 11-point game. You're fine if you're Alabama State. You're in it, but you got to start stringing together stops.
Delaware State started the second half 2 for 9. And since just lighting it up. Kiago Euro, and he'll be fouled.
Good aggressive move. Whenever he picks and pops, he presents some challenges because he can shoot it. That's how he was going.
favorite fan in the front row, is back for day 2 as well.
He's amazing. His energy's great. He's always got something to say back there.
We'll have the FCS semifinals for you tomorrow afternoon on ABC and ESPN+. Two-time defending champs South Dakota State square off against second-seeded North Dakota State. The number 1 seeded Montana State hosts 4th-seeded South Dakota. A trip to the championship game January 6th is on the line.
Top 4 seed should be great action to play for a championship this upcoming week, or it's just a new year. How about the Ivy League? Welcome to the party. Now they can play in the FCS. Good to have the Ivy League finally allowing their teams to compete. Only 50 years too late.
Smith Jr., he's been cooking today. Puts it up. Oh, you know it's going in. 25 for Robert Smith Jr.
That was on TJ Matlock. Good defender with length. That. Onions.
Knox takes the bump. Oh, and he comes down, grabbing at his right ankle. He just shakes it off.
There's something to be said when you are feeling it. It's just like when you get the opportunity, you know it's going in. And this isn't a good shot. It's just a great player making a great offensive move. Step back, in rhythm, bang. Can I go back to our favorite fan for a second?
Okay.
My daughter's 6, Lyra. She learned what the peanut gallery was a couple weeks ago. I would love if she was here to have the discussion with him about the peanut gallery. It'd be great.
I got to commend him, though, because for both games yesterday and now the second game here today, his energy, his enthusiasm, it has not dropped off. He is on the officials. He's on the players. He's on us.
He's on it all. He's got a commentary. He's got an opinion about it all. It's phenomenal.
We did offer him a headset, and he backed down. So
he did back down, which was shocking. Because if we gave it to him, I don't know, he would wouldn't stop. We wouldn't get anything back.
Watched it spinning through the lane, had it stripped away. Good hands. Alabama State now with numbers. And Hines wisely takes it to the rim.
Good calling wisely. I thought he was going to settle for a 3 there. You didn't need it. A 3-on-1, you need points. He settled it. He went to the rack and finished.
You can see the bench for Alabama State. The assistants were like, go to the rim.
But
11 straight field goals made for Delaware State. Robinson backing down his man, and he'll be fouled.
I haven't seen that really today. A little like flex screen, so you have a cut screen on the one block to come to the other for a guard and Robinson to kind of try to bail him out and end a shot clock.
What makes Delaware State so tough, they got so many weapons. We got Robert Smith cooking from everywhere. When he's not on, they get Martaz Robinson at the line now. When he's not on, they got Munir Newton, who had the big game yesterday. Oh, they also have the Watson twins.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of options. They got some dudes. And they got guys that can make shots that are aggressive, too. Like, I mean, Kasim Watson is by no means shy. He wants to get up some shots, and he's got the scorer's mentality. So does Smith. Robinson, that's what coach is trying to make sure that he has that same mentality. Because he's the guy, honestly, that should be taking some more shots than others at times. And he's done a good job of that both these games, of asserting himself at the right times, making the right passes. See why he's preseason all MEAC.
Ten-point lead for Delaware State with under 4 to play.
It's a different defensive look, and they do trap out of it. We're 1-2-2 extended. Wow.
And they get the steal. How about Stan Waterman switching up his D, and he forces the turnover. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought. Nothing like a drum line getting the fans amped here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. 10-point lead for Delaware State. Welcome back here courtside alongside Dallin Cup, John Triffin. I gotta say, it is an honor to get this assignment, to be able to call this game to learn these teams, learn the players, give them their shine, because it is much deserved. HBCU. I went to Howard. I spent some time at the Mecca. I know how important it is. Had it not been for Howard, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. I wouldn't have been able to dream big, and I think that's what HBCUs provide young men and women, and it's so important to keep that going for the next generation.
Really well said. And I feel honored to be part of this event with you and sit here and you get to see these teams and these programs and tell some of the players' stories, tell some university stories. Because as you mentioned, what they're doing on the basketball court is really important, but what their function within society is a bigger role and a much bigger role. And the more we try to invest in the athletic programs, give more kids opportunities to play at the highest level and have this experience and share that with the country and the world is critical.
These are the future leaders.
Well said. Another defensive changeup for Alabama State. They go to extend to a 1-3-1.
Smith, and a jump ball called. He tried to sneak through the D, and possession hour goes to Alabama State.
And you got to attack that zone in the seams. You can do that when it's in a 1-3-1. It's a right call. Really good help by Walker. And good call by Tony Matlock, too, subbing in, too. A little offense, defense. You go with a little more size, a little more length. Now, this was what caused the turnover before, too. This 1-2-2 half court. They trapped out of it, and there it comes again. You've got to be aggressive. There's got to be somebody in the middle of stepping up, looking for the ball, too, as they even approach half court. You want to punish somebody that tries to press you, either in the half or in the full court.
C.J. Hines. Ooh. Alabama State still hanging around with just over 3 minutes to play.
They can make threes, man. This thing is not over till that buzzer sounds. Delaware State doesn't get stagnant, but the clock running is a good thing. Oh, so deep. Smart. It's a smart player. He was having, again, they were having a guard. They like Robinson going into kind of like run his little UCLA cut. I don't think he was going to stop and post up, but he sold it right away with Matlock on him. You got to jump to the ball. TJ stays flat-footed, so now he gets stuck on the screen, and then to panic, he reaches over. When I say jump to the ball, if the ball's passed, you jump in that direction. So when he goes to come off that screen, you just ride right over the top of it, and you're fine. When you don't, now he cuts in front of you, and when he gets the advantage, Matlock really panicked and reached out and grabbed it.
What's the best way to learn a skill like that? Is that film work?
Jump to the balls. You should learn that at 5 years old. You should be like, you should be shell drill basics of this is how we move. When the ball goes here, you move to this spot, to this spot, to this spot. You always want to have that ingrained. If your first thing is to step backwards or step away from the ball, you are putting yourself in harm's way because your guy's got to face cut you, go off a screen. You got to be ball you man. That's how you get to ball you man, is to jump to the ball. Just good recovery off that ball screen. Well done. That's a size mismatch.
Matlock pulling up, and he rattles in the jumper. A 6-point game. It has been a long time since Delaware State has missed from the floor.
That's bananas. The fact that it's a 6-point game is a testament that, again, Alabama State can make some shots, and there were some turnovers mixed in there. Every time they've gotten a shot, they've scored, or they've gotten fouled.
It's been over 11 minutes since they've missed.
It's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. You don't see that very often. But again, the fact that this isn't a blowout is remarkable, too. I find it interesting, late game, how Stan Waterman really believes in Robinson. There again, they ran him into the post. They screen him, have your kind of leading ball guard facilitator to play out of the post. It's a little of a bygone era. We don't see that happen very much in hoops anymore.
Delaware State now has two guys with at least 20. Robert Smith Jr. has 25. And Robinson at the line. He now has 21.
Leading scores go for 46. That's, again, it's tough to win when they're guys at the top of the scouting report at monster days. But to your point earlier, Perkins has been good. Watson obviously good. Kareem Watson's given really good minutes. Like they have a depth of players that can make plays, but also have made plays on both ends. that flare screen again. They switch it this time.
Madlock, you can tell when he makes up his mind. Oh, when he came down and he's reaching for that foot. He's been dealing with a turf toe injury.
Take your time. Take your time, boy.
Those things are just incredibly painful, and there's really not like more quote-unquote damage you're going to do, but all it is it affects everything every movement you make.
Pain tolerance.
Yeah.
What is the level he can handle?
And can you play, and not can you play through it, can you be effective through it?
Right.
And he sure was yesterday. Yet, I mean, the Monster Day led them in scoring. Today it's been a little bit different. You know what's in your head too is you always, when you shoot free throws, you want to end 10 toes into the floor. Well, if your foot hurts, your toe hurts, it's maybe hard a little to extend all the way. That's what he did there. He kind of just shorted. It's almost like he shot. He kind of hoisted it, not just calmly shooting. That was better. Still missed it. That was a critical 2 points. Could have kept it within a 2-possession game. Got to get a stop here. I wonder if they had Robinson again isolated against Matlock. This is straight clear out.
Robinson sizing him up. Reach in. You reach, I teach.
Sam Waterman sees a guy holding his foot, injured. Let's isolate with, I think, my best one-on-one guy against a very talented young man, but maybe dinged up. And he reached, you're right. Problem. These two guards have made plays, Smith and Robinson, man. MEAC's going to be fun this year.
Yes, sir.
MEAC's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Can we get on the MEAC Conference Championship? Right?
Like, put the bid in right now.
I need to get on. I'm talking to the bosses. Can I get on it?
You know what they love is when we call and ask them for assignment. So fire away. But that's going to be a good one, man. That whole tournament's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But if you were making the put my name in too.
Oh, 100%. I got you. So C.J. Hines gets the bucket plus the foul. And important because it was a quick one, not much time off the clock.
I mean, you can't think of a worst-case scenario for Delaware State. You're on a free throw line. You've got to transition back. They don't. They give up a layup at the rim and count it. And now, Manir Newton, who just checked in, you got to be locked into the game, too. Like, he hasn't played in quite some time. That was a huge play by Hines.
I like that deep breath before he let that go. Settled himself, nailing the shot.
It was always my routine. 2 dribbles, breathe. And I didn't breathe. When I was younger, you hear my dad scream, breathe, if he was at the game. Yeah, that was usually missed. Good pass.
Another reach and foul, this one on Knox. And that'll send Robert Smith Jr. back to the line.
It's almost the same thing the other way. You got that's just too easy. You got to be locked in, know where we're in, talking and pointing. If you got to get stops, everybody's be on the same page. And Alabama State had moments in the first half, minute stretches, where they were locked in defensively. This second half has been tough.
So the door not closed just yet on Alabama State.
They got 11 made threes. You're absolutely right. This is by no means over.
1-2 from the line for Smith. A timeout on the floor.
Now, I mentioned what Coach Waterman does here, because they've been having that 1-2-2 kind of half-court pressure situation at times, especially at a couple dead balls. I don't think you want to do that because they might leave an open three-point shooter. I think you man up, switch everything to try to keep the people on the perimeter. If you get beat and somebody's got a layup, you let them go. You not give them an and one. Happy to trade twos. You then get the ball in, try to get fouled. But we'll see how they handle it. And if you're Alabama State, you are trying to get downhill paint touch layup. And if you have the help, you can kick that thing out. Wouldn't be surprised to see high ball screen, maybe in a pick and pop situation if Keago is in. We'll see who's comes back in the game here.
Tony Madlock is always preaching about mental toughness. And this is those critical moments. Can you lock in down by 8 and find a way to get out a win here in Connecticut? If you like college basketball, stay with us. Coming up next, number 19, Cincinnati, taking on number 22, Dayton. That's going to be a good one.
Dude, Dayton is legit. So Cincinnati's really good.
I had Cincinnati. They're pretty good, too.
No, they really are. I just think the Dayton pieces, Dayton should have won a couple of those games in Maui, and they'd be even higher ranked.
All right, let's see what Alabama State does come out of this timeout.
Do go with that 1-2-2 quarter curve. I thought Simpson traveled there.
Simpson to the rim. He was challenged. Nice follow by Kiago. It's a 6-point game.
That's the problem. When you're in that zone, though, you are allowing somebody to maybe walk right out of an advantage situation. They were once they doubled. Heads up, Perkins.
Oh, and it's taken away by Knox. Alabama State with numbers running the floor. Octave missing. Tipped up and in by Hines. And it's down to 4.
And you don't have to foul now. Delaware State's got to relax here. That's a lot of time to run off. You maybe want to give one now if you think you can get a. They're going to play it out, it looks like.
Tony Matlock says we need one stop. He's telling his guys back off, no fouls.
The way they've defended, that's putting a lot on this team right now because you have to get the stop in a 2-possession game.
Robinson, shot clock winding down. His runner, oh, halfway down, it comes out. Oh, tipped. Watson hustling. And it's Alabama State ball. Shot clock turned off. 20.5 to play.
All right, let's see again what Delaware State does if they match. I think they got to match up because you cannot give somebody like you just did in an open lane coming out of a trap situation. You don't need a turnover. You need to be sound. You need to make them make the toughest shot possible, and if possible, waste some clock in doing it.
Do you need a 3 here, or are you still enough time to get 2?
No, you play. Yeah, sorry, great question. 2 is fine. You need the best available shot with 20.5 seconds. Maybe if you can get it quick, you're gonna have plenty of time to maybe get a turnover, see what it is. But you do not. You need points.
Hines taking his time. He's got to go. He gets the clear out. Stripped away by Perkins. What a play. That might be the play of the game, and he is fouled. Corey Perkins, the senior from Wilmington, Delaware. What a defensive effort.
And I love what they did offensively, too. They cleared out that side, a little fake ghost screen by Kiago. He was going all the way. That is a great no call by Tony Crisp. I thought he got all ball, and it's having to stay in play. And he went and recovered it. That is huge.
This is a guy who started in high school for Stan Waterman when Coach Waterman was a high school coach. Came with him to Delaware State, and what a story this is turning into with Perkins now in his senior year.
Talk about knowing your guys. He knows everything about this man. Now, he did miss the free throw. This is now you need a 3. Oh.
Matlock keeps going, and it is punched. Newton sends it into the 3rd row.
I should have said you need a basket. It's a 5-point game, a 2 or 3, but then Newton just erased what would have been a layup for Matlock. That's big.
.7 to play, 5-point game. Knox threw it off the defender, gets it to go, but it's not enough. Delaware State will hold on. An 83-80 win, our final. How about Robinson? Final line, 23 points, 6 rebounds. Now tonight's play of the game brought to you by Walmart.
He was great, and when they needed buckets late, they were playing him out of the post. They were isolating him. He had 14 in the second half, and he was the key guy down the stretch for them to hold on to this win and go 2-0. They've won 4 straight. MEAC represented here in this event.
I'm about to say, you know what it means. Norfolk State won twice. Delaware State won twice. MEAC 4-0 against the SWAC here in Connecticut.
Planting their flag in this really prestigious event. Well done.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Chris Paul, thank you for everything that you do for HBCUs. For Dallin Cuff, I'm John Striff and all of our outstanding ESPN crew. So long from Connecticut. It was fun. Congratulations to Norfolk State and Delaware State.